Egypt stands as a testament to humanity's capacity for greatness, a civilization that thrived against all odds in one of Earth's most unforgiving environments. Covering nearly 400,000 square miles and now home to almost 100 million people, this ancient land continues to captivate our imagination through its monumental achievements that have defied time itself. From soaring pyramids to hidden tombs, from life-giving waters to harsh deserts, Egypt's story is one of remarkable adaptation and innovation. The secret to Egypt's extraordinary longevity lies in the sinuous blue ribbon visible from any aerial view, the mighty Nile stretching over 4,000 miles to claim the title of world's longest river. Without this magnificent waterway, the elaborate civilization we know might never have emerged from the scorching sands. For thousands of years, Egyptians measured their very existence by the Nile's annual flooding cycle. At sites like Elephantine Island, archaeologists have uncovered remarkable nilometers, stone passageways with chiseled markings that gauged flood heights. These weren't merely practical tools, but instruments of prediction. Optimal readings foretold bountiful harvests, while low measurements warned of potential famine. The Nile represented a life source for ancient Egyptians, explains German archaeologist Joanna Siegel, who directs excavations at Elephantine Island. It provided everything: food, water, fertile soil, transportation, and trade connections. Even today, 96% of Egypt's population occupies just 3% of the land, the cultivable strip nourished by the Nile's waters. The river remains Egypt's lifeblood, providing drinking water, hydroelectric power, and agricultural irrigation, creating a vibrant green corridor through an otherwise harsh landscape. Rising majestically from the Giza plateau, just 8 miles from central Cairo, the pyramids represent humanity's most enduring architectural achievement. From above, their perfect geometric precision becomes even more astonishing. Massive structures aligned with celestial precision that have withstood millennia of desert winds and human intrusion. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, completed over 4,500 years ago, comprises more than 2 million precisely cut stone blocks, each weighing more than a modern automobile. Rising 480 feet, it remained Earth's tallest human-made structure for an astonishing 3,500 years. What appears even more remarkable is that this was no isolated monument, but part of an elaborate mortuary complex. People marvel at the pyramids, but what they don't see is perhaps even more impressive, notes archaeologist Mark Lehner, who has dedicated 4 decades to studying these structures. To create pyramids on such a gigantic scale required an entire infrastructure, a 13-hectare lost city housing approximately 20,000 workers with bakeries, workshops, grain silos, and housing. Recent excavations have revealed how the ancient Egyptians accomplished these engineering feats. The smooth limestone that once encased the entire pyramid was transported from quarries at Tura, 8 miles away across the Nile. Lechner's research suggests the builders ingeniously utilized the annual Nile flood. We have evidence that the pyramid builders used the 7-meter rise of the Nile flood as a hydraulic lift to bring blocks as high as possible and as close as they could to the pyramid plateau. On Elephantine Island in southern Egypt, father and son Youssef and Karim Mohammed maintain fishing traditions passed through generations of Nubian families. Every morning, they navigate their small boat across congested waters to reach deeper fishing grounds on the opposite shore. My family has lived on the Nile for more than 100 years, Youssef explains. My father was a fisherman, and my father's father was a fisherman. He taught him, and then my father taught me. Now I'm teaching my son Karim. Using techniques virtually unchanged for millennia, Youssef slaps the water's surface to drive tilapia, a staple of Egyptian diet since pharaonic times, into his waiting nets. The Nile means everything because it's where I fish, he reflects. It makes life possible. The Nile is my whole life. The Nubians, descendants of some of the region's earliest settlers from over 7,000 years ago, maintain this intimate connection with the river despite modern challenges. Many were displaced by dam construction, making preservation of their traditional knowledge even more precious. Beyond the Nile's life-giving waters, nearly 375,000 square miles of Egypt consists of inhospitable desert. The Sinai Peninsula receives as little as 1 inch of rainfall annually, yet has been home to Bedouin communities for nearly 2 millennia. Qudra Id Morid, a Bedouin shepherdess, represents a vanishing way of life. This desert teaches you to exercise, coming, going, collecting wood, fetching water, keeping moving, she explains. If you stay inside, your body ages. You must walk, be active and stay healthy. Each day, Qudra leads her goats through seemingly barren terrain in search of vegetation. With knowledge passed through generations, she identifies subtle landscape features, gullies, where scarce rainwater channels beneath the surface, sustaining isolated patches of plant life. She also harvests desert plants like agrum, which when crushed and mixed with water creates natural soap. I do this work every day, she says. I've been here since the day I got married. I've never lived anywhere else. The desert is my life. Despite government policies aimed at increasing security and promoting tourism in Sinai, which have disrupted their nomadic traditions, many Bedouin, like Qudra, preserve ancient wisdom that allows human survival in one of Earth's harshest environments. When pyramid tombs proved vulnerable to grave robbers, despite their imposing size, Egypt's pharaohs sought a more secure resting place. Around 3,500 years ago, they began excavating tombs within a remote desert valley beneath a symbolic pyramid-shaped mountain. The Valley of the Kings eventually contained at least 63 royal tombs built over 500 years. Most were systematically looted in antiquity, which makes the 1922 discovery of Tutankhamun's nearly intact tomb all the more extraordinary. Tutankhamun's fame is due to the fact that his tomb was discovered with its grave goods almost completely intact, explains conservator Laurie Wong, who oversees preservation of the Boy King's burial chamber. That's rare because almost every other tomb had been looted. Inside, Howard Carter found a treasure trove of more than 5,000 artifacts, including the iconic gold death mask and precious stone-encrusted throne. Today, the valley faces new challenges, as 1.5 million annual visitors generate dust that threatens the delicate tomb paintings. Visitors have dust on their clothing and shoes, Wong notes. That dust can actually cement itself onto the paintings, making it very difficult to remove safely. Her team has installed specialized ventilation systems to ensure future generations can continue to appreciate these remarkable artistic achievements. Not all Egyptian traditions involve monumental structures. Across Cairo's rooftops, precarious wooden structures called rhea rise skyward, urban pigeon towers housing hundreds of birds. These continue a practice dating back thousands of years when pigeons were bred for consumption during important religious feasts. Hassan Muhammad Hussein, the self-proclaimed pigeon ruler of Giza, built his first rhea 23 years ago. Today, he competes against other breeders in contests that combine strategy, training, and luck. Every competition is different, like a football match, Hassan explains. Catching pigeons is the equivalent of scoring goals. During competitions, breeders release their birds simultaneously from a central location. The objective is twofold: guide your own pigeons safely home while luring as many competitors' birds as possible to your coop. The breeder who captures the most birds wins. Hassan is among approximately 2 million pigeon fanciers in Egypt who maintain this ancient connection. just one of many living threads linking contemporary Egyptian life to its pharaonic past. For the pharaohs, death wasn't an end but a transition. They proclaimed themselves gods who required eternal veneration through elaborate mortuary temples. From the air, these massive complexes along the Nile's west bank reveal their true scale and grandeur. The Temple of Hatshepsut, carved directly into a mountainside, commemorates one of Egypt's few female pharaohs. To establish her legitimacy, Hatshepsut commissioned a structure surpassing those of all previous male rulers in size and magnificence. Even more impressive is the Ramesseum, dedicated to Egypt's most prolific monument builder, Ramses II. Constructed over 20 years in the 13th century BCE, this 50,000 square foot complex once featured a colossal statue of Ramses that stood 6 stories tall and weighed approximately 1,000 tons. Though now fallen, its shattered remains still communicate the pharaoh's determination to be remembered as more than mortal. After ruling Egypt for 3,000 years, the pharaohs' polytheistic religion eventually gave way to monotheistic faiths. At Mount Sinai, where biblical tradition holds that Moses received the 10 Commandments, stands St. Catherine's Monastery, the world's oldest continuously inhabited monastery, founded in the 6th century CE by Emperor Justinian, Father Makarios, who left his home in Denver to serve here, emphasizes the site's historical continuity. There has been an uninterrupted succession of prayers here since the mid-6th century. No one in the world can claim that anywhere except here. Inside the Great Basilica, monks maintain traditions established 15 centuries ago, spending 8 hours daily in prayer. Moses came here. God himself came. Father Makarios reflects. To be able to look at this mountain and say to yourself, this is really important, I need to be here for this. Egypt's commitment to preserving its ancient heritage continues today with construction of the Grand Egyptian Museum near Giza, soon to be the world's largest museum dedicated to a single civilization, covering over 5.2 million square feet. Transporting priceless artifacts across Cairo's congested streets presents significant challenges. When a 3,000-year-old statue of Ramses II made its 11-mile journey, restoration director Assa Zidane oversaw every detail. It's impossible to put a value on this statue. For Egyptians, it means civilization, culture, heritage, and honor. Driver Zakaria Muhammad, responsible for delivering the precious cargo, felt the weight of history. I feel proud to be transporting such important pieces, but also afraid. If anything happened to these artifacts, I would be devastated. The new museum represents Egypt's ongoing dialogue between past and present, a nation simultaneously embracing modernity while honoring its ancient roots. This aerial journey across Egypt reveals how the pharaohs' magnificent achievements continue to shape the country today, creating a land where the ancient and modern truly exist side by side.